If we make this coat, it would be as if I were wearing your dog.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best villain outfits.
I haven't been fed all day.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most iconic ensembles and signature looks from our favorite movie villains. Whose style would you steal first? Tell us your favorites in the comments. Number 10. O-Ren Ishii's White Kimono, Kill Bill Volume 1. You'd think that white might be an odd choice of outerwear for a Tarantino assassin, especially one who loves a good beheading.
As your leader, I encourage you from time to time, and always in a respectful manner, to question my logic.
After all, blood isn't an easy stain to get out. But the Queen of Tokyo's underworld deserves a look worthy of crime royalty. In O-Ren Ishii's final fight scene with the bride, the Kill Bill villainess makes a statement in a pure white kimono. The snow-covered garden and O-Ren's style of dress make direct reference to a Japanese movie called Lady Snowblood. The outfit emphasizes the assassin's pride in her Japanese heritage, and the graceful movements deployed in her samurai fighting style are shown off to great effect. She looks as innocent as the driven snow, but we know better.
You may not be able to fight like a samurai, but you can at least die like a samurai.
Number 9. Heather Chandler's Plaid and Scrunchie, Heathers. Before Regina George laid down the style laws for the plastics, another queen bee led her clique to a place in the movie fashion Hall of Fame.
I'm worshipped at Westerberg, and I'm only a junior.
The Heathers are 80s icons, and their look would later be replicated in the popular musical. There's the big hair, the plaid, and of course those jackets with the vast padded shoulders.
Don't think.
Heather Chandler is never seen without her red scrunchie, which completes her trademark look with a splash of color. It's also an indication of her power, marking her out as the girl at the top of the social hierarchy. The infamous scrunchie later passes to Heather Duke and is finally stolen by Veronica in order to break the chain of command.
Heather, my love, there's a new sheriff in town.
Number 8. Everything the Wicked Stepmother Wears, Cinderella. Disney's live-action Cinderella remake went all out with the costumes, from the stepsisters' outlandish outfits to Ella's beautiful ball dress. The rags-to-riches transformation was glorious to behold, but our heroine had a definite style rival in the form of Cate Blanchett's wicked stepmother.
That's very thoughtful of you.
What do you mean?
To think of me.
Think of you.
From her very first appearance, Lady Tremaine brings a touch of old Hollywood glamour to the proceedings. Her sweeping skirts take up space and are accessorized with wide-brimmed hats, veils, and gloves.
Don't think you are in earnest.
In contrast to Cinderella's pretty pastels, she keeps to a more mature color palette of black, greens, and gold, or sometimes purples. Even her dressing gown is pure luxury. She may be wicked, but she looks so good.
Best to leave it to me. That way we all get what we want.
Number 7. The Goblin King style, Labyrinth. Cult classic Labyrinth exudes 80s glam rock and is most notable for the late David Bowie's star turn as the nefarious Goblin King.
What's said is said.
Jareth isn't your typical goblin. He's eccentric, seductive, and well turned out. In his sweeping capes, tight trousers, and ruffled blouses, this mysterious antagonist stole away teenage hearts along with that baby.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
His pantomime villain meets rock star styling is incredibly over the top. Nevertheless, it's perfect for the fun fantasy setting and lends the character the required air of campy mystique. Whether he's dancing with his goblin court or at a masquerade ball, Bowie's Goblin King demands to be the center of attention.
I am exhausted from living up to your expectations. Isn't that generous?
Number 6. Loki in Green and Gold, The Avengers. He might be the Avengers' resident villain, but everyone's got a bit of a soft spot for Loki, the pasty emo kid to Thor's muscular golden boy.
But why should I not think yourself above them? Oh, yes.
The trickster god dresses in black, gold, and green, often donning a pair of curved goat horns. These are an Asgardian symbol, which indicates his powerful magical abilities. Costume designer Charlie Wen drew inspiration from the Marvel Comics when putting together Loki's ensembles, but gave his look a futuristic twist.
How will your friends have time for me when they're so busy fighting you?
As Loki is more of a schemer than a fighter, Wen designed his armor to be, quote, more overtly ceremonial than practical, and what's a supervillain without his cape? Loki's appearance has evolved over the course of the Marvel movies, but he's always instantly recognizable as our favorite antagonist.
Your savior is here!
Number 5. Harley Quinn's look, Suicide Squad. Since Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn burst onto our screens in 2016, her punky supervillain vibes have inspired an army of Halloween costumes.
Hey guys. Come on, let's go.
Like the Joker before her, Quinn's look changes with each new incarnation of the character. In the early days, her costume matched her name, which was inspired by the clownish Harlequin figures from 16th century theater. The modern-day Harley is still mad, bad, and dangerous to know, but now she's got a whole new wardrobe. Her dip-dyed hair and statement makeup are a nod to the Harlequin, but the rest is all her own.
Number 1, no one is like me.
In The Suicide Squad, we see a return to Quinn's original red and black, but her outfits from the first movie remain the most iconic.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Number 4. The Sanderson sisters' bewitching wear, Hocus Pocus franchise. Hocus Pocus is up there with the most successful Halloween movies of all time, and the Sanderson sisters have become instantly recognizable.
Now the witch is back! And there's hell to pay.
Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker attack their roles with gleeful energy, and their outfits are designed to highlight each witch's individual personality. Costume designer Mary Vogt said, quote, Sarah played the little beauty queen. She was more like a Sleeping Beauty princess. Meanwhile, Mary was meant to look like a witch baker.
I'm very confused. I smell children, but I don't see children. I've lost my power.
Enough.
Director Kenny Ortega wanted to avoid basic black witch outfits, especially for Midler, requesting instead, quote, something that's colorful and fun and has a little sparkle to it. The costume designer definitely understood the brief, creating some of the most memorable witching wear in movie history.
We're obsessed with those looks. Can we take a photo?
Number 3. Catwoman's catsuit, Batman Returns. The DC universe isn't short on villainesses, from Harley Quinn to Poison Ivy, but Catwoman has to be the most memorable.
Meow.
She's been portrayed by multiple actresses over the years, but it's Michelle Pfeiffer's incarnation that really steals the show.
As I was saying, I'm a woman and can't be taken for granted.
Her famous catsuit was also created by Hocus Pocus costume designer Mary Vogt, who told another, quote, we knew we wanted it to be black and sexy and tight and shiny. Director Tim Burton had the idea that the costume would have visible stitches to give the impression that Catwoman was coming apart at the seams. These were glued on and brushed with silicone, giving the suit an extra shiny effect. Vogt said, quote, that costume is all about the light, and of course, all about Michelle.
You're the second man who killed me this week, but I've got 7 lives left.
Number 2. Maleficent's trademark ensemble, Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent. Sleeping Beauty gave us one of Disney's best villains, taking the wicked fairy from the original children's tale and making her so much more.
Well, quite a glittering assemblage, King Stefan.
Maleficent is the movie's most memorable character, holding audiences rapt with her distinctive speaking voice and poisonous charisma. Her costume is also a defining part of her character. The horned headdress and flame-like purple sleeve lining have hellish associations, and her trademark black marks her as strikingly different in appearance from the other fairies.
For the first time in 16 years, I shall sleep well.
In 2014's Maleficent, the mistress of all evil made a dramatic return to our screens in sweeping black capes and those familiar horns. Wings or no wings, she remains as captivating as ever.
Well, well.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Cruella de Vil in Fur, 101 Dalmatians. Cruella de Vil began life as the devilish, fur-loving antagonist of Dodie Smith's 1950s children's novel.
I live for fur. I worship fur. After all, is there a woman in all this wretched world who doesn't?
Her hair already makes a statement, but with each new retelling of Cruella's story, she takes up more space. In Disney's animated adaptation, she stole the show, and by 1996's live-action remake, the villainess had her own fashion house and a wardrobe of wonderful outfits.
Fine, put the little brutes on reserve for me. How much would you like?
Emma Stone resurrected the character in a recent prequel that leaned into the fashion angle, but Glenn Close's Cruella still has the edge. Oscar winner Anthony Powell designed her dramatic designer looks, utilizing plenty of black and white, animal print, and, of course, fur. Don't worry though, Close insisted that they used faux fur, proving that fake can still be fabulous.
Oh, yes. I love the smell of near extinction.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.